Good afternoon, everybody. As we get ready to start the show, unfortunately, I can't show my Hoosiers clip anymore because the video will be blocked. So I got to come up with another buffer video before it starts some shows now. So be looking out for that. But hopefully, everybody comes in today. Hopefully, a couple people will chat about game 81 of the 2023 season. But we're almost ready to go. So let's see if we can get some scrolling going. There we go. All right, here we go. Good afternoon. This is Chris on IMTM Worldwide Radio, and this is Around the ATL. This is Around the ATL Side Notes, game 81 of the 2023 Atlanta Hawks regular season. So welcome to the show. Be sure, first of all, thanks to NBA.com for all the footage that I'm about to show everybody. Appreciate that. If you've never listened or watched Around the ATL, make sure you visit Facebook and Instagram. You can follow IMTM Worldwide Radio right there. See that there? You can also follow us on Twitter. Mine is Intellect ATL, and my co-host Jordan Jackson is Jordan23 ATL there on Twitter. So make sure you follow that as well. But most importantly, make sure you subscribe to the actual YouTube page. I appreciate that. Make sure you hit the notification button. That way you don't miss any shows. Also, today's show is brought to you by IMTM Worldwide Images. As usual, I am planning to come back to Atlanta for the first time in a year. So if you have a family and you want some family portraits, or you know some business owners and they need headshots, or you know some people who are trying to do modeling or music or acting and they need portfolios and things of that nature, go to imtmworldwideimages.com right there, or you can follow me on Instagram. IMTM Worldwide Images 1 on Instagram. I might float that later on in the show. We'll see if we can get to it. Now, before we get started, there is one thing I do want to talk about before I even read my show notes for the beginning of this show. And some ain't gonna like this, okay? There's a lot of people I would never want to play basketball with because you're not about winning a game, okay? Just being fair about it. Some people don't want to win basketball games. So if I ever come out to a court somewhere, there's a lot of people that I wouldn't want to play with because I know they're not about winning. They're selfish. They're egotistical. Okay? Why do I say this? Because there's a lot of people, I almost said you, but y'all, but people in general, there's a lot of people who would rather blame somebody else for their deficiencies of their basketball game rather than just playing the game. And they would rather leave somebody on an island rather than being a team player. Why do I say this? In 40 plus years of playing basketball, I have never blamed another man on my inability to guard my man. Never has happened. It's never even crossed my mind. I've said this in the previous show. I am repeating it. If the dude is bigger than me, stronger than me, faster than me, doesn't matter. I still have to do my best to stop him. The difference on my teams is, number one, communication. Chris, you're by yourself up there. But Chris, we got your switch if they get by you. Chris, stay with your man. No, Chris, come here. Chris, I got her. Chris, need help. If you're not even willing to do that, you can't be on my team. But the other part of that is, why would I leave somebody else on an island? I'm on the big, and now all of a sudden someone screens me, and now the point guard has the big. I'm not going to let that point guard the guy that I was having a time with. Does that make any kind of sense to anybody? Why would I let that happen? And why do I say that again? Charlotte Hornets wasn't leaving Muggsy Bogues on the island by himself against Patrick Ewing. Right? Grandma Mom, Lonzo Mourning, Anthony Mason, all these dudes. Muggsy Bogues played 15 years in the NBA somehow. 5'3"-ish. Damon Stoudemire there in Toronto. He played 15 plus years. Was he left on an island with his diminutive stature? Supposedly? Steve Nash, Allen Iverson, all these guards who either never had a reputation for playing defense or heck, didn't play a lot of defense. They stayed in the league a long time for some reason. Why? Because they did something right. Pretty good. They're not in the league for the stuff that they do not so good. They're in the league for the things that they can do very well. You know what happens with all those other teams? They put other players around them to make it work. The Matrix, Dumas, Mark West, right? Mark Price played in Cleveland town, right? Who wants to go on vacation in Cleveland? Y'all remember that soundbite? But Mark Price played there. Was Larry Nance and Craig Elo and the rest of those guys leaving Mark Price on the island by himself? How tall was Mark Price? Was Mark Price ever known for playing defense of any kind? Real defense, I guess, what y'all want to call it? So how all those other guards make it through the NBA? By the way, none of those guards have anything close to what Trae has done in 6 seasons so far. But Trae is the reason that we lose games. Now, if you've watched any previous episodes of Around the ATL, I've already shown 2 games of the 2023 season, the Bulls game, the play-in, and the Pacers game. And I showed you in those games what actually happened, not what people think happened in your mind, like I'm Charles Xavier, I'm changing things, I'm changing reality. No, I showed you what actually happened in the doggone game. There's a big difference in reality and opinion. Right? So today we're going to go over game 81, and I'm going to show y'all what actually happened in that game. Because again, if the premise is because of Trae Young alone and his defense, the Hawks lose all their games, you have to prove that. You have to show it. So I'm helping everybody prove it if I can. But if I can't, why would anybody continue to say the same stuff, even though they've been shown demonstratively it's not true? So let's get into it. I'm going to skip some of the other stuff that I'm going to talk about because really I've talked about it in other shows. If you want to go back around the ATL side notes, Trae Young, around the ATL side notes, game 82 Pacers. Okay, go watch those shows. Get back to me. So today we're going to talk about the Timberwolves. Now, in this particular format, as I go through the season, what I've done is I review the score, obviously. I go over the top 3 scorers of the opposite team. I go through what the Hawks did as a team cumulatively. I go through what did the Hawks give up points in the paint, second chance points, 3-point percentage, and fast break points, right? And one thing I've added since the first show review that I did, I also show who gave up what points for that game as well. Because one thing is, a position player getting a certain amount of points doesn't mean that the person that was playing them actually gave up all of that points on that player, right? One, because you got substitutions and things of that nature, right? 2, you got free throws. Now, I don't count free throws in any of this. I'm only going by made shots, okay? So keep that in mind. So for this particular game, game 81 of the regular season, the Hawks lost 109-106, lost by 3 points, by the way, in this particular case. Now, mind you, the Hawks went from losing by 3 points to losing to the Pacers 157. Okay? Just think about this now. And I'll go ahead and finish that thought. The Pacers, 157 points. They shot 52% from 3. They had 80 points in the paint. And then the Hawks went to the play-in and gave up 72 points in the paint, 42% from 3. Y'all should be mad about what happened in that Bulls game. And a lot of y'all are not, because you have so much hatred towards one player, you just excuse all the foolery of everybody else. I don't understand why. Don't forget, comment section is open. Oh, I got the wrong thing scrolling down here. Y'all make sure y'all subscribe to the YouTube page, IMTN Worldwide Radio. So, Hawks lost 109-106. Hawks gave up 52 points in the paint. Only 6 second chance points, so that's actually a positive, okay, for sure. 11 fast break points. Timberwolves only shot 27% from 3, but that still came back to haunt us because we lost by 3 points. We'll get into that a little bit later. Minnesota had 11 blocks in that game. Hawks only had 1 block. So what did the other team do production-wise? Minnesota didn't really have a great game overall. So Rudy had 25 points, 19 rebounds, and 5 blocks on his own. Nas had 19 points. He was the second leading scorer on the team that day. Ant had 14 points. Now, Ant was in foul trouble. So some of that is mitigated because of that. And he wasn't really shooting well that night. Till the last 2 field goals of the game. We'll get into that a little bit later. All right, so for the Hawks, Bogie had 17 points, shot 50%, 5 of 10, 2 of 4 from 3. Pretty decent night. Hunter had 15 points, but on 5 of 14 shooting, 2 of 6 from 3. Clint had 13 points. He had a pretty good shooting night from the floor. He hit 6 for 8 at 11 boards. Okay. DJ, 12 points, 5 of 14 from the floor. Didn't hit a 3. Had 4 assists. He did have 3 turnovers, though. Trae had 19 points, 6 of 12 from the field, 50%, 3 of 7 from 3, 40-something percent. He had 7 assists, only had 2 turnovers. So the Hawks didn't really turn the ball over this game either. Gay had 2 points. He was 1 for 5 from the floor, didn't hit a 3. Garrison was 0 for 4, didn't score at all, no free throws or nothing. Bruno actually had a good night, 14 points. He was 6 of 9 from the floor at 14 points. AJ had 3 points, 1 of 3. Kobe had 6 points, 3 of 5 shooting. Vitt had 5 points, 2 of 6 shooting. He hit a 3-pointer. So that's what the Hawks did overall. Remember, if you have a comment, make sure you hit the comment box. I'll see if I can get to it as I go through everything. So here we go. We're going to go through the actual game now. So again, I go through every made shot of each quarter of the game as I do these reviews of the season, okay? So first shot of the first quarter on an apparent screen, okay, DJ is on Ant. Now, I'm not sure exactly what Hunter was doing on this particular possession. Was he going to stop the ball? Is he going to go to Cat? I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Ant drives to the bucket, pass Murray, pass Clint, layup, okay? Now, there's an operative word that we have to say after each made shot, and I'll tell you it after I play the video. Wow, I don't even have it queued up yet. Let me get it queued up. Here we go. First shot. First quarter, here we go.
Edwards looking for an opening, can't get the lay-in, tipped up and in by Karl-Anthony Towns, his first field goal in his return.
And I forgot to actually say that Cat tipped it in, not. Yeah, actually, I said Ant drives to the bucket. I just didn't put in that Cat tipped it in. But Cat tipped it in. Why? Not blocked out. Ant-Man got all the way to the basket, not stopped, right? Let's play it one more time before I say what I was going to say, though.
Edwards looking for an opening, can't get the lay-in, tipped up and in by Karl Anthony Towns, his first field goal in his return.
So explain to me how that's Trae's fault. Blame Trae on Ant getting all the way to the basket and Clint not blocking out. Explain that how that is his fault, because that's what you got to do. Every shot made by every team all the time is always on Trae, because that you say it again. What did I say last show? Say it with your chest. It's all Trae's fault. The inability of other players to play defense is because of Trae Young. Even the 28 games that Trae didn't even play. And players are still dropping 30, 40 points. Remember, from my last couple of shows, shooting guards averaged 30 points a game against the Hawks this year. That's 2,500 points. Small forwards averaged 27 points a game against the Hawks this year. Trae don't guard neither of those positions. He doesn't guard the center position. He doesn't guard the power forward position either. He doesn't. It's not his guy dropping all those points. However, to y'all, everything is his fault. He's playing 1-on-5. It's his job. Nobody else's job to stop their man. So that's the premise we got to go by. Now I'm trying to prove it for everybody that thinks that way. All right. So second shot. Inbound the ball. Trae has Conley. Hunter has Cat. Bogey has McDaniels. Murray has Anagan. Clint has Rudy. Cat gets the ball. Okay. Passes it to Rudy. Rudy drives. Okay. Now, at this point, with Rudy driving to the bucket, Clint does come up, I guess, to try to drive draw a charge. Didn't work. Let's blame Trae on this one too. Second shot, first quarter.
Had an epic conversation with our Leah B. Olsen after the game. Here's Gobert going at Capella. No whistle, 2 points.
Now, so was Clint supposed to, not Clint, but was Trae supposed to like jump up and clothesline Rudy after he knocks down Clint to prevent the bucket? I guess so. Third shot, first quarter. So Rudy gives the ball to Conley. Rudy sets a screen. Now, if you watch the Pacers game, Pacers didn't even bother setting screens. They were just setting slip screens galore, never really setting a real screen because they know what the Hawks are not going to do. Okay? Because nobody has no discipline. I'll talk about that maybe later. But go watch that Pacers game that I have on around the ATL on IMTN Worldwide Radio. Make sure you subscribe. So, third shot. So Rudy sets the screen. Trae comes around it. Conley shoots. It's an air ball. Nobody blocks out again. Primarily Clint. Rudy gets a layup. But let's blame Trae for, again, him not boxing out 7'2" Rudy Gobert. Third shot, first quarter.
Conley around a Gobert screen in the lane, puts it up. No, Gobert, the follow.
It wasn't a pass. Ball is in the air, and nobody's finding where their man is. One of the things I talk about when I do my Sunday night basketball videos, when I talk about fundamentals, was when that ball goes into the air, you're not getting, you, sir, this person right here ain't getting the, my signal went out for a second. My man ain't getting the ball. I've blocked him off. So even if I don't get the rebound, that guy ain't getting the rebound, and hopefully one of my teammates will get the rebound. But the Hawks don't know how to block out. We never know where our man is. We just be spinning in the air and all this kind of stuff. Do I need to play it again? What shot is this? Third shot.
Conley around a Gobert screen in the lane, puts it up. No, Gobert, the follow.
That's Clint's guy. Remember, Rudy Gobert had 25 points in this game and 19 rebounds. Okay. Fourth shot, Conley has the ball. Trae has him. Cat sets a screen. Conley doesn't take it in this case. Rudy comes to set a screen, but doesn't. Clint overhelps anyway, as usual. Rudy then crashes through the bucket. Bogey almost comes out to kind of help, but then goes back to his man. Dunk by Rudy. But let's blame Trae on the fourth shot of the first quarter, though.
Gave him a second chance points on that one. Minnesota 4-0 already in that category. Cat had the tip in earlier.
Oh, rifle pass. The big man connection has returned.
Now, if we had a team that knew how to rotate at all, per our coaching staff, teaching and developing and cussing folks out to stop being stupid, that wouldn't have been so much of an issue. But again, because Clint can't stay with his man ever, and he always overhelps. That wasn't even a screen, and he can't recognize that actually this is not what you need to do here. Stay with your man. One of the things I always talk about, again, is communication. One thing that we talk about when we start a game, okay, and if we have a similar situation at all like that, whether or not, Chris, don't worry about it. Stay with your man. They'll let me know. Chris, don't even worry about it. Just stay with your man. We got it back here. You stay with your man. Again, that's what Boston did. If you get beat, you get beat. But we're not gonna make it easier for you to pass the ball to people and get wide open layups. What is this? Hold on a second. You should blur or change. No, can't do that. So again, another layup, another dunk, right? This is just the fourth shot of the first quarter, guys. Okay? Think about that. All right. Fifth shot. Trae has Conley. Bogey has McDaniels. Rudy has the ball. Passes it to Conley. Rudy sets a pick this time. Trae comes around. And again, Clint overplays. But this time he actually gets back to Rudy. Conley then passes to McDaniels, where he shoots a wide open three over Bogey. But let's blame Trae on the fifth shot of the game.
Good action early. McDaniels for three.
It'd be so great to see him.
Now, just to let y'all know, McDaniels was 3 of 4 from 3 in this game, and the Hawks lost by 3. Keep up with that as I go through this game, okay? I'm going to play this again for y'all, though.
Good action early. McDaniels for three.
It'd be so great to see him.
Now, why exactly is that shot that Bogey gave up Trae's fault on the other side of the floor? Sixth shot, first quarter. McDaniels passes to Ant-Man. Bogey goes for a steal, doesn't get it. He chases Ant. Garrison has Alexander Walker. Ant drives to the bucket. Mohamed Gay is in there, but he's too deep. Okay. But Nas is in there now, but Nas didn't get the pass. Murray could have come up maybe and stopped the ball so that way Clint wouldn't have to commit, but that didn't happen. So Clint comes up and guess what? Dunk again. Okay. No. My fault. I'm reading this wrong. So what I was saying is that Murray could have come up, stopped the ball so that Clint wouldn't have to commit and possibly leave a dunk for Rudy. And instead, though, he actually passes open to Alexander Walker, who's wide open because Garrison has his back turned again. What is one of the things I always talk about? Why is your back turned to the guy that you're supposed to be guarding? Who cares about what's happening back here? Who cares about what's going on in the back? You need to stay with your man and either deny him the ball, hold possession, and then if the ball goes up, you need to be blocking him out. But that's not what happens in this particular shot. I played like a defensive back, but I actually am staying on my man. I'm not just pointing to people. I'm on my man, okay? But anyway, let's blame Trae on the sixth shot of the first quarter.
He's got a lot to like about his game, too.
Edwards, outside, Alexander Walker for three. He's automatic.
He's automatic. Wayne asks, who do you think will help the Hawks most immediately, draft pick or free agent? Well, I mean, free agent definitely, because a draft pick is unproven. There's no guarantee any draft pick ever is ever going to be good. There was no guarantee that LeBron James was going to be LeBron James. Just like Anthony Bennett didn't pan out, right? You just don't know. But a free agent who has a proven track record, there's a little bit more of a propensity for that to happen. So if you didn't get a chance, and I don't know if I can do it during the show, but I'll see if I can find it and I'll post it in the comment section. I have a formula that could work, and basically, and to make sure I don't lose my spot here, basically I say, let's trade for KD, Kevin Durant, 25 points a game scorer, bona fide. He's going to rebound his position. His length actually helps you points in the paint, not giving up as many. But no matter what, he's going to get you 25 points a game. You either got to have some better offense or better defense. Combination of the two would be great. But at least the Hawks lost 21 games by 7 points or less last year. Think about that. Okay. So you trade for KD. So instead of getting 15 points a game at the small forward position, you're getting 25. That changes your life right there. Also, you go get Caruso. Okay. Also, you go get OG. Also, and some people don't like this, but some people are picking up on it now. You go get Pat Bev as well. Okay. So now you got Trae Young, Caruso, Kevin Durant, Jalen Johnson, and Sarr, our #1 draft pick, if we do right. Off the bench, you got Kobe, right? You got Bogey, his 17 points a game. Now you got OG coming off the bench. Okay. And then you have Mohamed Gay. And then you also go get Andre Drummond, who's not washed. And you know why we know that? Because he gave us 25 and 24 rebounds. He also gave us 18 points and 13 rebounds. He's 30 years old. He ain't washed. He's averaging 8 points, 9 rebounds a game on 17 minutes a game. That's more than everybody else on our bench, except for Bogey. Your reserves, you have Drummond, Pat Bev, Garrison, keep Vitt. I'll say keep Vitt. And then I say give Seth a chance to play. Okay? If you could do that, we got 3 layers of depth to where, guess what? Injuries can happen. We can still compete every night. We couldn't compete last year because we were missing 4 people at a time. Not just Trae Young. We were missing Trae Young, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Johnson, and Okongwu all at the same time. So if you want to say that the team was better without 4 players, you can say that, but we can't because the team was 14 and 14 with Trae Young gone and all these guys gone. That's 28. Anyway, who should we give up to get them? Now, see, in that case, I got to try to pull up the if you can remind me, Rain, I'll see if I can do that later. I don't want to get too off track, but I will post what I did to get all those players in a second, okay? Let's get back to the show. 7 shot. Nas has the ball at the top of the key. He dribbles. Bruno overhelps. Passes it to Rudy. Dunk. Very simple.
Gobert outside. Nas Reed on the attack. Handoff to Gobert for the flush. First lead.
Remember, the Hawks gave up 52 points in the paint in this game. 8th shot. Nas gets the pass at the top of the key. Bogey has Ant. Trae has slow-mo. Nas dribble hands off to Ant. Nas sets a pick. Drives by Gay and lays it up. Now, again, I guess Trae could have gotten in the way, got an early foul, wrapped him up, elbowed him or something. Bruno could have maybe blocked it, but let's blame Trae for Ant getting around Gay, though. I guess. 8th shot. First quarter.
If you set a screen for somebody, you're so happy when that screen gets into a made basket for your teammate.
Oh, beautiful move. Edwards, left hand.
That was the last shot of the first quarter, by the way. Second quarter. Now, here's where it should get interesting. Because, again, if the premise is, well, I can't play no defense if Trae is out here. So Trae is not on the floor right now. So first shot. Bogey has the point guard. Hunter has slow-mo. Bruno has Rudy. Murray has Conley in this case. Okay. Now, one thing I'm also going to mention is the propensity of players not getting on their assignment per the new possession. Why do you allow someone else to take your man? Because that's your responsibility. I don't understand that. And as I actually, let me see if I can pull this up for Wayne because he asked. Give me a second. I'm gonna see if I can find my trade concoction, I guess you can say it, in regards to getting those players I just mentioned, and see if I can do this in real time. It was a couple of days ago. I'm gonna try to see if I can find it. And by the way, again, thanks to those who asked about my grandmother over the weekend. It was pretty scary. She's in her late 90s and she never goes to the hospital. So for the fact that she had to go to the emergency room was pretty not good. She is at home now, but again, right now we're just kind of seeing how things are going right now. So I appreciate everybody who gave me a shout out as far as that goes. I'm trying to find it. Let's see, June 13th. Let's see. Okay, I think I'm close. Talk about Muggsy Bogues, Avery Johnson. I gotta be close to it now. Sorry about, there it is. So I think this is it right here. All right, so I'm gonna copy paste. I'm gonna put this in the section and I'll clean it up a little bit later if I can. So here we go. Thanks for being patient, everybody. All right, so there it is. So I'll go ahead and read it since I got it. So you get KD. So the Suns are going to get DJ, Hunter, and AJ. Okay. You trade Clint and Bay, and you go get Caruso or Herb or somebody, Dort even if you can do it. But I say get Caruso. You sign Andre Drummond, you sign OG, you got to match the Knicks or whatever, got to do it. And you get Pat Bev. Now, of course, all of this is what's the word I'm looking for here? I'm trying to do my college words. This is all based off of the owner actually doing what he promised to do, aka spend money, and the GM being smart enough to make moves that actually will benefit the team and not just Hawks DNA. My co-host today hit me up talking about what does that even mean? And you're going to say you're going to pass up on really good guys because you want guys who are going to be the next player that's going to average 8 points and 10 boards for the next 12 years. It's crazy. But if you do this, this changes your landscape in regards to your depth, your production on both sides of the ball, and giving you a competitive outlook. Pat Bev gives you something that we don't have. We don't have a voice to say you're not doing it right. You're not fighting through the screen. You're not getting back on defense. You're not rotating. Why are you over-helping? Because, again, if we don't get a defensive coach that can teach and show all this, again, I don't know who's our video guy. Actually, I do, but I don't want to get into that right now. But we got to have better players who know defense. Defense is part effort and part knowledge. You gotta do that, and then you gotta communicate. You go get Caruso, you go get OG, that's definitely going to happen. You get Pat Bev, that's definitely going to happen. So that's how I would do it. All right. Now let's get back to the second quarter. So I believe I did I do the first shot? Yeah. So second shot of the second quarter. Again, Trae isn't on the floor. Garrison has J-Mac. Now, after Nas passes it back to him, he drives in on Garrison and lays it up. How come Garrison didn't stop this dude? I don't know. But let's look at the second shot of the first quarter. I got to find my place again now. Let's see. Second quarter. Here we go.
J-Mac turns the corner and got the lay-in.
Now, I'm going to play it again. I just got to make a note. Trae's not on the floor. But Hunter couldn't help on this one at all? He just kind of standing there?
J-Mac turns the corner and got the lay-in.
I'm just watching the game, and Hunter let him lay that up because Hunter could have definitely at worst, block the shot. But again, Hunter doesn't get block shots because he don't put no effort into doing that, which is why he has no block shots and why he has no steals. Go look up how many steals he has for the season. I'll go ahead and tell you, he has 40. Third shot, second quarter. Trae is still not on the floor, by the way. So Hunter has Conley now. Conley drives, kicks it to J-Mac. J-Mac has AJ on him. Nas comes to set a screen, but J-Mac actually goes the other way. It's kind of crazy. He passes it to Conley. Hunter is 10 feet away from where Conley is, so when he gets the pass, he pumps fakes. Hunter jumps, and of course, Conley just hits a step back three, real casual like. Third shot, second quarter.
If you think Denver has an advantage on Minnesota, then you didn't see any of the games that they played other than that game the other night in Denver.
Conley for three. Boom.
There is no way I would be that far off of my man in a basketball game. We play clock when we play. Okay, so first of all, we play 2s and 1s. Okay, so a 3 is actually a 2, and of course a 2 is actually a 1. So if a team hits 3 2s, you're almost about to win the game because we're only going up to 12. Okay, there's no way I would leave that much space between myself and my man on purpose. Am I hurt? You see what I'm saying? I'm old, but I'm not that old. Hunter let him hit that shot, basically. Now, I don't know what y'all think about that, but I'm just looking at what the tape shows me. And also, Trae is not on the floor, but blame Trae on that one, too. That's 4 shots made in the second quarter so far. That's 8 points so far. Hawks lost this game by 3 points. Remember that. 4th shot, second quarter. Trae is still not in the game. Again, I'm not sure why the Timberwolves are scoring all these points. At the start of the play, Clint is actually not on his man. Nobody has J-Mac or McDaniels at the very beginning of this play. You know, there's floating. Nas gets the ball, and he lays it up on Clint. 4th shot.
And they have the utmost respect,
no doubt,
for Minnesota. Here's Nas Reed going at Capella. Oh, the head fake, left hand. Sit down.
Sit down. Y'all need to see that again? Do y'all really need to see that one? And Trae wasn't in there, so what prevents Clint from stopping that shot? Remember, Minnesota scored 52 points in the paint. That was 2 more of them right there. 5th shot, second quarter. Hunter has Conley, though in this case, I'm pretty sure he's supposed to be on Cat, but whatever. So Clint, should be on Nas, but again, since Hunter is on Conley, it is what it is. Bogey is on Nas instead. That makes sense? Not really. Cat sets the screen. Conley passes to a wide open Nas for 3. Again, Trae's still not on the floor. So this is the 5th shot about to go in with Trae not on the floor, where our team's supposed to be better on defense without Trae. Right? That's the premise. That's what I've been told. Shot number 5.
Edwards will check in next dead ball. He has 3 personal fouls. Reed, long range. Money.
Now, why didn't Bogey block that shot? Someone explain that to me. And also explain how that's Trae's fault when he's sitting on the bench. Want me to play it again? I'll play it again.
Edwards will check in next dead ball. He has 3 personal fouls. Reed, long range. Money.
6th shot. Let's blame Trae for this one. Basically, Hunter falls down, throws the ball to Conley, who gets a layup. This is the 6th shot of the quarter, and Trae's still not in the game.
Especially on the road. Mike has shot it really well.
Conley breakaway. Throw it down, Mike. Oh.
Can someone explain to me what Hunter was doing right there? Like, did you see the effort? Let's play it again.
Especially on the road. Mike has shot it really well.
Conley breakaway. Throw it down, Mike. Oh.
See, I didn't expect for Hunter to be like Magic Johnson and be able to do a bounce pass off his rear end. I just needed Hunter to hold the ball a little bit until somebody came and helped him. But he basically just gave up 2 points. I mean, does he have money on the game? I don't know. Doesn't matter. The game was lost by 3 points. That was 2 more of them right there. 7th shot. Alex Walker drives, passes to McDaniels. McDaniels drives on Muhammad Gay and gets a dunk. Now, I guess we could blame Trae for Gay not stopping the dunk, I guess. Let's watch.
Alexander Walker. Outside, McDaniels on the attack, and the hammer.
That wasn't even a Euro step, was it? I guess it was kind of a mini Euro step, you know. 8th shot, 2nd quarter. Now, here's one you can blame Trae on finally. This is definitely Trae's fault. It's very easy. Bad pass by Trae. This is one of his wait a minute, let's see. Oh, no, this is not the turnover. Remember, he had 2 turnovers. This is a different play. But I still blame Trae. We could blame Trae on this one, though, I guess. So Ant has the ball. He drives. Murray leaves his man because Bogey was blown by. Okay. So you got 2 people that are open. So when Ant goes into the air, Trae is kind of left in limbo a little bit as far as where he should go, whatever. And McDaniels ends up getting the ball. He hits a wide open 3. All right. So 8th shot, 2nd quarter.
From 3-point range before that bogey make. Outside, Alexander Walker, the answer.
Now, I don't know why bogey is on Ant and not Murray on Ant. Anybody can explain that for me? Bogey can be on McDaniels. McDaniels is not hurting you like Ant can. Bogey doesn't have the foot speed to stay with Ant. Murray is supposed to, but again, why defer? See, when I play, I'm looking at, I got to stop the best player on the team or the person that hurt the team the last game that they played. Okay? Because somebody got to stop them, which is why last month I talked about a game where the game before that I played, the particular player had like 7, 8 points by himself. Remember, we only go to 12. And so when we got to play him, I said, I'll stick him. I know he's 20 years younger than me. I know he can jump around like Jalen Johnson, but he ain't going to score. I can't let him do it. So I ran around the court with him to deny him the ball on the perimeter. I face guard him on the perimeter, and I had my guys say, hey, Chris, you're by yourself, but if he gets by you, we'll switch. So I know I got help. And then when he tried to post me, he ain't about to post me up. I'm just knocking you out your post position, sir. He scored 1 point on me. That's what you do. You take it upon yourself to say, I'm going to be the guy. And you got to have a couple of those guys on your team, and the Hawks don't have nobody. Got a comment here. We have several players who are offensively superior, but our defensive liabilities. I would trade any or all for two-way players who don't take defensive plays off. All our DJ. Well, we'll get into that. I rarely see Trae playing defense. Okay, we can say that, but Trae is one of the team leaders in taking charges, and he actually is a team leader in steals, and his steals are not just playing the passing lanes. He's actually on the ball defensively taking steals away from you, which means he's putting in effort to do that and staying with his man more than other people on the team do. And again, Trae's job isn't to be Gary Payton. His job is to be 50% of the offense per his scoring ability and getting the ball to players who need help putting the ball in the bucket. That's the job of a point guard. The other players surrounding him are supposed to be better. And they're not. When you put pieces together, you get better. The Dallas Mavericks were in the championship as a 5th seed because they decided to put some better defensive players around Luka, and they got to the Western Conference Finals and they won. Because you see how bad Luka is by himself, right? The problem is the Boston Celtics were the worst matchup they could go against because they said we're not going to overhelp and allow Kyrie and Luka to just pass the ball to their wide open dunkers all the time. We're going to force you to make one-on-one moves. And we'll let Luka and Kyrie try to score 50 points apiece. And it didn't work. Anyway, that was 8th shot, I believe. 9th shot. Again, not sure why Murray isn't on Ant again, but Ant goes by bogey, passes to Kent. Hunter is on him now. Kent drives from the three-point line and gets a layup. Cat drives from the three-point line and gets a layup on Hunter.
Phoenix is going to have something to pay for. They do not want to be in the play-in. They can get to that 6th spot, so, you know.
It's going to be a battle, and it could be a playoff preview. Towns, the runner.
Now explain that to me. He's supposed to be our best defensive player. And he just gave up another layup from the three-point line. I'm not even playing that one again. Let's blame Trae on those 2 points. 10th shot. Murray gets the ball stolen. Trae gets back. Murray catches up, actually, so you got 2 back, but nobody has Cat. Nobody picked up their man, a.k.a. Hunter. Cat comes in, gets a dunk. 10th shot, 2nd quarter. Let me scroll these up a little bit.
0 for 3 from outside the arc. Great.
Oh, cookies. Conley retreats, finds Towns for the slam.
52 points in the paint. Shot number 11. So, again, in this case, now NBA.com, again, they only give you the clips of the actual possession in regards to the shot. So sometimes it doesn't give you exactly what happened at the very beginning. So in this one, I'm not sure how Hunter is on Conley and Trae is on Rudy and nobody is on Nas. But that's what happens at the beginning of this possession. So basically what ends up happening is Rudy sets a screen to bump Hunter. Alex Walker and Nas are open. Bogey is like 20 feet away from his guy. Trae, in this case, has to take Nas. And, of course, Trae ain't going to be able to block Nas's shot. But let's blame Trae for just people basically being not on their guy. The Hawks create their own mismatches by people not being on their man per discipline's sake. That's not the same thing as somebody being targeted. Because so far, in this game so far, Trae ain't been targeted yet. If you watch the Pacers game, Trae wasn't targeted. If you watch the Bulls game, Trae didn't give up those 42 points, all 42 of those points to Kobe White, because Trae wasn't playing Kobe White that game. But anyway, let me play this possession for y'all. This is shot number, I think this is the last shot of the 2nd quarter.
Great screen. Now around Gobert, step back, setting up Reed for 3.
He could have passed it to Reed. He could have passed it to McDaniels. Both of them were open because that's just what the Hawks do. But we'll blame Trae on that one. We'll give up 3 points on that one, I guess. 3rd quarter. First shot. Make sure I'm tabbed up here. Make sure y'all subscribe to the IMTN Worldwide Radio page on YouTube. Don't forget that. So, first shot. So, again, I'm going to ask the question, what's Bogey doing? Ant gives to McDaniels. McDaniel passes to Cat. Cat fakes a drive. Bogey comes all the way in and leaves McDaniels open for a wide open 3. Another wide open 3. But let's blame Trae again. Remember, we lost this game by 3 points. Okay? First shot, 3rd quarter.
Towns over to McDaniels. The answer, yes, sir.
This is street ball. Bogey ain't getting picked up the next game. He ain't. This is basketball we're talking about. And that's the kind of stuff I be mentioning. What are you doing? This is basketball. Basketball doesn't really change. The money might change and all that. But basketball is basketball. And there's no way you can excuse that. That's not what you're supposed to do. You can't do that. And that wasn't Trae's fault. Again, the whole premise is all these shots going in are all Trae. Wayne says Trae played best defense for him last year since he's been in the league. The Chargers got more. Exactly. Trae, again, every year Trae has been in the league, Trae's gotten better at defense. Again, he ain't going to stop everybody, but his guy is not the one dropping 30 points a game. It just ain't happening. Y'all would have an argument, the ones who think it, if Trae's guy was consistently dropping 30 points a game. Everybody was scoring 50 points a game on Trae Young. Trae was giving up 157 points a game. It'd be different, but that's not happening. Bogey and Hunter, but seems to have negated them from playing defense. Plus, their trade value is relatively high. Clint forces us to play 5-on-4 on offense. I've said that plenty of times. Again, if you can't score, you got to be basically dominant on defense. But if you ain't going to be dominant on defense, you got to be able to score a little bit on offense. And Clint ain't really there on either side now. Again, we give up way too many points in the paint because he always takes bad angles. He makes poor decisions, and he's not getting 4 blocks a game. And on offense, after 10 years, he still hasn't taken a 3. This is today's NBA we're talking now. He can't hit a 17-foot jumper. He can't hit a 15-foot jumper. He can't hit a 10-foot jumper. And he can't hit nothing inside with touch. He has no feel. Dominique Wilkins, guy used the backboard. He can't do it. He physically cannot do that. He gets 6 offensive rebounds a game and he has 11 points a game. That doesn't match. I get an offensive rebound, I'm putting the baby back in the bucket. I'm not passing it out to somebody. I'm going back up. That doesn't happen when Clint gets the ball. He gets the ball in the paint. He's trying to throw it to somebody and it ends up being a turnover. That's not cool. Why is that cool to anybody? That he can't hit free throws, that he can't hit a spot-up three-point shot at all. He's not a threat. He's not even a threat. Give me 30% from 3. At least you're a threat. He's 0%, folks. That's not acceptable. Anyway, back to the game. Where was I at? Let me get back to my, That was his first shot. So second shot, third quarter. So I'm asked, what is Clint doing on this possession? Cat has the ball at the top of the key. Clint, for some reason, doesn't stay with Rudy. Cat passes the ball. For some reason, Hunter goes with Rudy. Cat sees the opening and drives. Hunter then leaves Rudy. Cat gives to Rudy. Clint finally has gotten back to Rudy. And then Rudy is Akeem Olajuwon all of a sudden. This is second shot, third quarter.
Towns leaves it for Gobert. Makes the catch in the lane. Turns right shoulder off the window.
That was a left-handed shot off the window. Let me play it again.
Towns leaves it for Gobert. Makes the catch in the lane. Turns right shoulder off the window.
But blame Trae Young on that one too. But Clint gave up the shot. Couldn't stop him. Third shot, third quarter. McDaniels was 3 for 4 in the game. Remember that now. Hawks lost by 3 points. Okay. So Cat is at the top of the key. Hunter is on him. Bogey has McDaniels. Cat drives. Hunter actually stops him. So this was a good play for Hunter. Cat passes to McDaniels. He's wide open though. Why? Because Bogey isn't on his man. I'm not even going to read the rest of it. I'm gonna just play this one.
And now it's Towns. Kicks it out to McDaniels. That connection works again. 3 3-pointers tonight.
So now I'll finish it. Why is Bogey over there on Cat? Cat didn't need no double team right there. Did he? Let's play it again.
And now it's Towns. Kicks it out to McDaniels. That connection works again. 3 3-pointers tonight.
Hunter had his man. Bogey created a mismatch for no doggone reason, and McDaniels hits another 3. How is that Trae's fault? And why isn't there any adjustments from the bench? We don't have nobody on the bench that can talk defense. That's why. Bogey is one of our top clutch players offensively, but again, Bogey out there like he's a strong safety in the NFL, but he doesn't get to anybody. But again, if we had some better players on defense, that's mitigated. Because again, Steve Kerr wasn't playing no defense. Who did Steve Kerr ever stop? Who did John Paxson ever stop on the Chicago Bulls those years, right? Think about that. Who? Craig Hodges. Who was he stopping? That wasn't his job. His job was to three. You put players around them that do their jobs. See, the Hawks, when they were winning 50 games a season with the Dominique teams, they didn't have the best players in the league. They didn't have the Hall of Fame players that the Celtics and the Pistons and all these other teams around them had in the Eastern Conference at the time. But they had pieces that fit to where Dominique could be the primary guy, and you had just enough rebounding, just enough defense, just enough passing ability, just enough being able to get your own shot here and there, just enough to make that team go up against the great teams of the East and still be competitive. The problem was the Hawks never put nobody beside Neat to put them over the top. The Hawks, the last 6 years, have done everything opposite of being competitive. All the other teams we've seen get better over the years because they go out and make moves, free agency, the right draft picks, the right trades. The Hawks have done the opposite. And people want to blame Trae Young for it. O should start this season unless we get someone better. No, well, here's the deal with O. If we get Sar needs to start. He doesn't need to be, he needs to start. The only way you really learn is to play. Okay? If they decide to put him in G League for a little bit, fine. O can start at that point. But he can't start if Clint's still here. You see what I'm saying? O can do everything that you need to do. And he can play pretty good post defense. He's stopped a lot of guys when he has the minutes. But if we're going to keep him, he still will be valuable on the bench as a stalwart who can also hit a shot. But I say go ahead and start Sar right off the jump. Let him play 25 minutes a game like they did Wemby. Let him play. Because that's the only way you really get better. All right, where was I at? Keem Olajuwon, there it goes. I already did the third shot. So fourth shot. So DJ has Ant. Ant drives. He kicks at the cat. Now, for some reason, both Hunter and Bogey are looking at cat again. Conley is wide open. Cat passes to Conley. Hunter runs to cover. Conley drives by, shoots. Now, in this case, I say he hit Hunter in the face. Ref didn't call it, and he scores. But again, let's blame Trae Young for this one too, though.
On the drive, tosses it out, extra pass, Conley. Driving on Hunter, count it, and put him on the line.
Now, on the one hand, you know, Hunter looked like he got fouled there. But at the end of the day, how come Hunter can't stop Conley? And why is that Trae's fault? Let me play it again.
On the drive, tosses it out, extra pass, Conley. Driving on Hunter, count it, and put him on the line.
How did Trae Young hinder Hunter's ability to defend somebody smaller than him, who scored on him, by the way? Because that's what you have to say. How is Trae Young hindering other people from playing their man to stop their man from scoring? Fifth shot. Everyone is on offense at the start of this video. This will give you a heads up. So Hunter is getting blocked by Rudy, one of his five. Ant tips it out. Trae tries to get it, but is not able to. Bogey, on the offensive side of the ball, is already on the other side of the court for some reason. You'll see that when the fast break happens. So Bogey is back on this fast break, okay? Hunter, so after Hunter is blocked, fast break, he's down there. So DJ gets back, but nobody stops the ball. Since nobody stopped the ball, Conley is coming down, wide open three. All right. I'm not really sure who to attribute this 3 points to, so you can take your pick on this one, I guess. Because nobody really got back.
Brick on the three. Hunter got it blocked by Rudy Gobert. Stifle Tower making a play. Conley, cash.
Hawks gave up 11 points on the fast break. That's a team 3 points right there. Because everybody has to get back. And everybody has to get back with a purpose. It's not just getting back. You got to stop the progress of the ball. One of the reasons that the Hawks gave up 73 points to Luka is because they let him walk the ball up and do whatever he wanted to do. Didn't even double him. By the way, the Hawks don't know how to double team. I'm getting to some of those instances in a little bit, but we've seen them. Anyway, I don't want to get into that because I'll get off topic. 6-shot, third quarter. So again, why isn't Murray on Ant again? He's supposed to be a primary defender. Anyway, I'm gonna play this one and I'll come back to it.
Could have had a better record too. Lost some tough games in that stretch too.
Edwards pull up over Matthews. He likes that matchup.
Sure does.
He likes that matchup. Sure does. You see the commentators? This is killing us. So why isn't Murray on Ant? Garrison could be on McDaniels. Who is bogey guarding in that case again? Y'all want to see this again? But Ant just basically draws on Garrison and hits. Trae ain't on the floor. Why are we blaming Trae on this one? I'll play it again.
Could have had a better record too. Lost some tough games in that stretch too.
Edwards pull up over Matthews. He likes that matchup.
Sure does.
Now remember, Ant had a lot of foul trouble in this game. That's why you don't see a lot of highlights of him hitting shots. He was hitting a lot of free throws, but he wasn't hitting no field goals. He only hit 5 shots, I think, in the whole game. Okay. But why isn't the best defensive player on our team on him? Very questionable to me. Looks like somebody didn't want to play him. I don't know. I couldn't get away with that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm old man Chris. I'm the Logan of the basketball squads when we go out there. There's only a couple of people older than me when we go play. There's one person that's 50-something, and there's another guy who's in his 60s. We're playing full court basketball. Time game, 16-minute quarters. Every game is at least 16 minutes. The last game, we played the 20 minutes or 25 minutes, something like that. We've been adjusting it or whatever because it's so hot outside now. The gym is really hot. We ain't trying to die out there, you know. And we're playing. I played somebody who was 15 years old. He was 6'5". That dude's 30 years younger than me. He got one bucket on me. I had to shoot a wide open. I had to shoot a 3 on him. I had to give him a wink because I was like, yeah, you're going to hit this one little baby hook on me. I'm going to have to come down and do a little something. Now you made me mad. But anyway, that was a fun game. Teaching the young ones, you know what I'm saying? Because he wasn't really a basketball player, but he's tall. So we're mentoring him. We're trying to get him to where, okay, be comfortable and stuff, get the rebound, da, 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 da. And he was on the other team, and we're mentoring him. So that's what you do to the young generation. But anyway, 7th shot, third quarter. We're almost done with the third. By the way, again, we lost this game 109 to 106. Minnesota Timberwolves didn't have a lot of shots each quarter that they hit. Think about that, okay? So, 7th shot. Now, here's one that should get some of y'all hype, I guess. So, Trae has Alex Walker. Cat tries to set a pick. Trae goes around. Clint looks like he's about to help, but then he leaves. Alex Walker fakes Trae out and gets a layup. So, y'all will love that because of this. This is definitely on Trae. He got got. It happens in basketball, though. I get got all the time. But I negate it by my production on the other side, and I don't let it happen again. If I get got, it's maybe once a game. If in the night, I might get got 4 times in a game. But I've definitely given out a whole lot more than I've given up. That's the whole point. You got to be able to do that. You got to be able to mitigate the circumstances. Alex Walker came off the bench, by the way. He was 4 of 11 from the field. Trae is primarily on Conley. He was 5 of 11 from the field. Rudy, on the other hand, was 10 for 10. Let's get into it. 7th shot, last shot of the third quarter.
Alexander Walker. Oh, nice move. Puts it up and through.
And I actually made a mistake because I don't see it, and I don't want to add it now. But there was an 8th shot. So Conley has the ball, passes the Cat. Conley sets the screen to Hunter. Nas has the ball. Hunter can't catch up to Nas. Clint comes up, and Nas lays it up on Clint. For some reason, I don't see it. so I must not have saved it. It was very early this morning when I did this, but that was the last shot of the third quarter officially. But it was another layup, by the way, on Clint, 52 points in the paint. First shot, last quarter. Here's one, definitely on Trae. Doesn't really need a lot of explanation. This is one of his 2 turnovers for the game.
How do they handle that adversity? Well, the Hawks took advantage of it. Here's Conley taking advantage of a bad pass and got the lay-in. Wolves back on top.
So that was definitely on Trae. Nothing really to say about that. It was a bad pass. Second shot of the fourth quarter. Trae misses a 3. Nobody gets back on the fast break. J-Mac gets a layup. When I say nobody gets back, I mean nobody got back.
Using the Fernando screen, lines up the Trae, can't hit. 2-on-1. J-Mac goes to the reverse.
Hawks gave up 11 points on fast breaks this game. Third shot, last quarter. Conley comes over half court. He passes to J-Mac. Rudy sets a screen on AJ. Then he sets a screen on Kobe. Rudy then crashes the basket. And as always, Rudy is alone.
Extracurricular activity, trying to set a screen on
Up top, Gobert making the catch and throwing it down.
Now explain to me how that is Trae's fault. Let me play it again just so you can see what happened. Uh-oh, wait. Ooh. First shot.
extracurricular activity, trying to set a screen on
Up top, Gobert making the catch and throwing it down.
Why is Bruno looking at Conley? That's not his guy. Want to know why? Because he's not on his man. Stay with your man. All else fails, stay with your man. You read and react, but you don't give in. And the whole league knows Hawks have no discipline when it comes to this, and they're going to overhelp no matter what. We do it game after game after game. That's why we give up the points in the paint and the second chance points that we do, because nobody knows where their man is, and nobody's willing to stay with their man. This is just basketball. It ain't complicated, really. Fourth shot, J-Mac drives, passes it to Conley. He passes it to Alexander Walker, who drives on Bogey and hits a floater on Bruno in this particular case.
J-Mac out to Conley. Alexander Walker, the floater, drops.
Floater. Fifth shot, same old. Conley brings the ball up. J-Mac gets the ball, passes it back to Conley. Rudy sets a pick on Kobe. Bruno has to help since Vic didn't come all the way to maybe stop the ball. So Rudy was free to go to the bucket. Guess what? Gets a pass from Conley. Guess what? You know what? You know what's about to happen. I'm going to show it to y'all.
Might be done. Bogdanovich may be done for the night. This is Kobe Bucket's first minutes of the game. Conley leads it. Special delivery to Gobert.
Special delivery. That song. Trae ain't on the floor, by the way. Guess blame him on that one, too. Dunk. 52 points in the paint Minnesota had. Let me scroll up a little bit. Sixth shot, fourth quarter. So again, Conley brings it up. Rudy sets the screen. Bruno leaves his man. Not even looking at Rudy. Watch this now. Conley pocket passes it to Rudy, who gets another dunk. No adjustment from the bench. Blame Trae. We're only down by 2 points at this point, though. But let's blame Trae on this one, too. Sixth shot, fourth quarter.
Wonder if Quinn Snyder is saying that's it for his main guys. We shall see. Conley, nice pass. Gobert, another flush.
Wasn't even a screen. If I had did that, I would have people on my team basically saying, man, we don't even need to play no more. And I'm definitely not getting picked up the next game if we lose. If I was to do what you just saw as the big on my team. That's what I'm talking about. At a certain point, you got to have a change. You have to have an inherent philosophical change on basketball. And so if you can't get the coaches to do it, you got to get somebody who naturally knows what to do. And that's one thing Sarr is pretty good at. Watch all his tape. When we did our draft show, I had an offensive tape on Sarr and a defensive tape on Sarr. Because you know what Sarr doesn't do? He don't drop all the way down to the basket when his man is at the top of the key. He comes up and guards his man. Whatever. Seventh shot. I believe I'm on the seventh shot. Is that correct? Yeah. So Ant gives to Nas. Nas drives on Vit to the bucket for a layup. Oh, this is easy. So AJ and Bruno are down there, kind of, I guess. But Trae's not on the floor, but let's blame Trae on this layup again by Minnesota Timberwolves player.
Edwards back out there. Around a Reed screen. Reed gets it back. Going to drive on Krejci off the window. It goes down.
That's the lefty finish I'm talking about.
Did you see what just happened? I'm about to get to it. Oh my goodness. So again, if the premise is all Trae's fault, how are all these points Trae's fault? The Minnesota Timberwolves scored 109 points. Trae didn't give up 109 points. He didn't give up 100 points. He didn't give up 85 points. He didn't give up 75 points. See, it's a team game. You can't, as a man, blame another man for you not doing your doggone job, folks. You can't do it. You definitely ain't gonna do it with me, because when I come up wherever I'm gonna go, hopefully I'll come up to Atlanta, do some photo shoots soon. And I used to play on certain courts in Atlanta and stuff. I've never done that, and in turn, no other player did it to me either. Because that's not what you do as a man. You man up and oh my bad, man. I should have rotated. That's my fault. Hey, my bad. I should have yelled out that screen for you, man. Hey, we should have got back on defense. We gave up that layup. We just didn't get back. You take responsibility, you take accountability for your mishaps, and then you do better. What the Hawks do, they just keep doing the same stuff with no accountability. Nobody's getting fired. Nobody's getting fined. I said 3 years ago, we need to have $10,000 fines every time you overhelp. You don't rotate, $15,000. Something has to happen. Did y'all see the Vit turnover there? That's the next shot of the fourth quarter.
I'm talking about.
Turnover. Oh, the hammer! Look out below!
Blame Trae. Blame him. That was 4 points right there in a couple of seconds. We lost by 3. Yeah, Trae had that one turnover that turned into 2 points. There's 4 points right there. Ninth shot. So let's blame Trae. But he's still not on the floor. So I'm not sure how you can do that, but let's blame him anyway. So Ant has the ball. He drives. Gay leaves Cat 20 feet away for some reason. Okay. Ant passes. Cat hits a 3. Remember, the Hawks lost by 3 points. We lost 21 games by 7 points or less because of stuff like this. If you watch that Chicago game, you see why. You watch that Pacers game, you really see why. But here's the play. Ninth shot, I believe.
Edwards outside. Towns. Welcome back. 32.
All Kumoji had to do is stay with his man. That shot wouldn't have been possible because he would have been on his man. What happens behind you don't matter. None of those people was your assignment, rookie. Pat Bev wouldn't let you get away with that. Pat Bev would pull you to the side and hit you. You see what I'm saying? You couldn't get away with that with Pat Bev. You couldn't get away with that with Caruso. 10th shot. At this point, it's 101 to 100. It's a 1-point game. What I'm about to show y'all are the last 2 shots of the game. And here's where I talk about the fact of Well, one thing I always talk about is you don't let the best player on your team beat you. That's a principle that everybody talks about, but only a few enact. The Boston Celtics say, we're not going to let the best player beat us. How many games did the Dallas Mavericks win? So here's the 10th shot of the fourth quarter. So Ant has the ball, Kobe is on him. We never double teamed him because we don't double team people like regular teams. Muhammad Gay kind of is going to do it, but he's just a hippity hopping around. Hip, hop. But he doesn't. So Ant hits a turnaround jumper on Kobe. Wait a minute. That's the last shot. I don't know if this is a turnaround, but let's just watch it. 10th shot.
That Cat 3 energized the crowd and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Edwards off the window.
It was a fade off the backboard. The one good thing that is in this is Garrison actually did pick up at least when you see somebody streaking to the basket. Because since Muhammad Gay didn't double his man was free to do whatever. But Ant wasn't giving that ball up. He's back in the game. By the way, Trae ain't on the floor still yet.
That Cat 3 energized the crowd and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Edwards off the window.
That was Vic stopping Cat from streaking down the court, or whoever it was. But why didn't Muhammad Gay just hard double Ant? Force him to get the ball out of his hands and make somebody else hit a shot. Why didn't that happen? Anybody, someone tell me. Comment. But let's go to the last shot of the fourth quarter that the Minnesota Timberwolves hit. After this, they just hit free throws. So 103-102 was the score at this point. And again, Ant has the ball. And again, he's on Kobe. Nobody doubles him. Garrison ain't guarding nobody in this play. How come he just doesn't come in and double him? Gay also could have doubled him again as well. But nope, he hits another shot, and we lose this game 109-106. So here we go. Last shot of the game that the Minnesota Timberwolves hit.
Edwards backing down Buffkin. Turnaround. Dave! Money!
Tell me somebody what Garrison was doing. I'm going to play it again.
Edwards backing down Buffkin. Turnaround. Dave! Money!
Don't leave your guys on the island. That's not basketball. That's not basketball. That is not basketball. Do you hear what I'm saying? Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? So as I mentioned, Ant had a lot of foul trouble this game, and he didn't really hit a lot of shots. DJ only gave up 5 points in this game, basically. Clint gave up 14 points in this game. Trae, 10. Bogey, 12. Hunter, 9. Garrison, 7. Bruno, 12. Gay, 7. AJ, 2. Vic, 4. And Kobe, 4. And Kobe's 4 was a death nail because they were preventable. A lot of these were preventable. Clint was preventable. Your bigs, 14 and 12. Clint and Bruno gave up, what was that, 26 points in the game. So they gave up 26 points. Bogey gave up 12 points. Hunter gave up 9. So I have 109 points. Again, how is that Trae's loss? How is that attributed? How is this loss attributed to Trae? How is the Pacers game where the Pacers scored 157 points attributed to Trae? How is the Bulls game, the play-in game, where they scored 130 points, 72 points in the paint, 20-something points, second chance points, 42% from 3. DeRozan just wide open several times. Hunter just let him shoot it. That was Hunter's guy. DeRozan had 22 points that game. Vucevic had 24 points, and most of it was all on Clint. But it's Trae's fault? No. Kobe White wasn't scoring 42 points on Trae. Hey, Mary. So that was game 81. That was game 81. Now, I'm going to see if I can pull this real quick because I don't think I deleted it yet. The reason that I get turned up about defense is, oh, shoot, what the heck did I just do there? Okay, I don't worry about that. Is, again, defense is part effort and knowledge. You got to fight through a screen. You can't allow yourself to be held up. You can't be grabbing somebody's arm so it looks like they're stopping you from something when you're actually preventing yourself from getting around the screen. That's bogus. That's definitely not manly when you're talking about basketball, especially if the guy's smaller than you. You can't be putting your hands up and hoping the ref says something. No, you got to fight through the screen because while you're doing all that, your man is hitting a wide open three. So I'm going to remind y'all on what some of that looks like now. I'm going to just play these and I'm not going to say nothing.
Game two, they looked a lot more comfortable.
Well, the level of aggression was night and day between Boston and Atlanta in the opening minutes. Tatum takes advantage to the rim and his first bucket of the night.
Did not look like it was deflected by Hunter. Here's Tatum rising and hitting another three. 15 threes in the first half.
14 threes a game, 14 out of only 33 attempts. So you have to get out on the three ball.
Tatum splashes through.
Taking over just before the start of the season after Ime Udoka was suspended for violating team policy. Brown hops right around Hunter and lays it in. He's been a pest on the offensive glass, although Boston has dominated the boards overall in this first half. Oh, what a look. And Brown, the two-hand flush on the delivery from Smart.
That was last year, folks. DJ did his job on the offensive side, except for the game he got suspended because he wanted to hit the ref or whatever, and Trae hit the game winner in game 5. But DJ definitely held up his part of the bargain. Trae obviously did because he was keeping us in all those games as it was. Just needed one more person to help out just a little bit. And if it ain't on the offensive side, it needs to be able to slow up the best players on the other team. And that's supposed to be Hunter's job. But again, Hunter, he's supposed to be able to do it, but he's never been named first, second team, all defensive team, never gotten any votes for defensive player of the year. And so when I talk about bringing in players like a Caruso or OG or Pat Bev, guess what? Those players have been named to a defensive team. Those players have gotten defensive player of the year votes multiple times in their career. They know a little bit of something about defense and they actually enact it on the floor. Oh, well, Pat Bev is a clown. Guess what? He talks, though. He speaks up. And he's going to get in your face. And if you're on the opposing team, he's going to get in your face. And we don't have that on our team. You have to have an edge of some sort. And after the ECF, we lost our edge. That edge was gone. We never retained it. We never tried to find it. Hunter don't like playing with Trae. So guess what? He needs to retire. He don't like playing with Trae. That's asinine and stupid. You want to know why? Want to know really why that is? Because Trae Young don't stop Hunter from doing anything. Trae Young don't stop him from not being efficient on the offensive side and scoring more than 15 points a game. Trae don't do nothing but try to get him the ball. And he definitely don't stop Hunter from playing defense. I just showed that. I just showed you a whole game from Minnesota Timberwolves, game 81 of the 2023 season, of Hunter giving up points and had nothing to do with Trae Young. Trae Young wasn't even in the game part of the game. There's 28 games that I reviewed on the show around the ATL Side Notes Trae Young. I went through 28 games that he missed, that Bay missed, that O missed, that Jalen Johnson missed. 28 games total, and said, well, in fact, let me see if I can pull it up. Let me see if I still have it up somewhere. I might have it, I might not. Let's see if I can pull it up. I wasn't going to do this, but I guess I have to. Let's see. Is this it? Nope. Is that it? Nope. This, nope. Oh, this might be it. So, if Trae Young wasn't playing, how come, for instance, why did D'Lo have 27 points when the Hawks played the Lakers? Why did Bron have 25 points? Why did AD have 22 and 15? Why did Keontae have 25 points? Sexton had 21. Why did Johnny Juzang off the bench have 19, shot 7 for 11 from the field, 5 of 8 from 3, Trae ain't on the floor? Why did Simons, when they played Portland, have 36 points and 8 and have 33? He went 15 for 20 from the floor if Trae wasn't playing. Why? Explain it. See, that's what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. Why, when the Hawks played the Nets, why did Mikal Bridges have 38 points and Cam Johnson have 23? I went through all these games in the first show I did reviewing the season, but I'm gonna do some of it here again. Why did the second time they played the Nets, Deron Sharp had 12 points, 71% from the floor. Dennis had 23. Cam Johnson had 29. Why did Harrison Barnes have 32 points? Trae didn't play. Why? Why did Sabonis have 21 rebounds? Why? Why did Joel Embiid have 38 points and Maxey have 30 points? Trae didn't play. What's the problem? You see what I'm saying? If the Hawks are so much worse without Trae Young, they should always be above 500 when Trae is gone. They should be 10 games above 500. The Hawks were 14 and 14 without Trae. They weren't 25 and 3. They weren't. The Hawks are 27 and 33 all time. They're not 50 and 10. So going back to Hunter don't like playing with Trae Young, that's a personal problem and all the more reason to get rid of him. He ain't on no plateau to be like, oh, I don't like playing with Trae. He ain't the Claw. He ain't PG-13. He ain't Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony ain't played no defense since Denver. And nobody cares. Why? Because he does that. But nobody cares. He didn't win in New York, but nobody cares. He's beloved in New York. He had one winning season in New York. And then he was a player going around, and then he finally retired. All the players that were never known for their defense, but y'all want to blame everything on Trae Young. Even though Trae Young in 6 seasons has done more than any Atlanta Hawk ever except for Dominique, and actually is matching Dominique in playoff points. He's going to pass him in total points as a Hawk if he plays here enough. He's already leading the Hawks in total assists. He's led the league in assists the last 2 seasons and would have led the league again 3 seasons in a row if he wasn't hurt, and he still ended up 8th. Boy likes to pass the ball to people. Other people need to do their job better. And it's a shame that people are so selfish that they don't like a player. That's why I posted in one group chat, you mean to tell me you don't want to play because of how another nigga talk? Y'all remember Snowfall, right? It's about winning. If you're not about winning, you shouldn't be playing. We don't got no time for that. Pull up that Boston game when Hunter went out of his way to say DJ led us to victory. Who cares? Trae led us to victory. Trae, okay, so here we go. So you want to do that craziness. Oh, you talking about the regular season? Okay, cool. Yeah, it was regular season. Fine. Why wouldn't that happen at the beginning of the season? It shouldn't matter. But let's go to the playoffs though. Let's talk playoffs. Playoffs? I wish I was doing this on the radio. I could do my sounders. Oh, I'm on the wrong thing. No wonder. I can't find it. Let me go back over here. Is this it? Yep. So let's go to playoffs. So First of all, I'll do this. So I'm going to review some of the things that I did in the first show that I did a couple of weeks ago. All right. So Dominique Wilkins leads the Hawks in all-time scoring currently. He's second in points per game. Trae is actually ahead of him right now. Dominique is tied with Trae in playoff scoring per game, 26 a game. Okay. Neek never made it out the second round, which means he never made an ECF. He never made a finals. He hasn't won a championship. Neek was never a defensive stopper. Name one time when Dominique locked up Bird, right? Neek's job was to score the ball, and he did that very well. He kept the Hawks in a lot of games, didn't he? And like I said earlier, the Hawks put just enough talent around them to compete in the East with a whole bunch of Hall of Famers, but just not enough to win a championship. Neek has a statue in front of State Farm Arena, though, despite not winning a championship or Eastern Conference final. He has one scoring title, 2 slam dunk championships, right? But nobody was trying to get Neek out. The Hawks organization did that. Fans weren't trying to get Neek out, though, but why not? Because if he hadn't won nothing, right? Now, 2021 season, Trae led the league in NBA in total points and assists. Only Nate Archibald is the only other person in NBA history to do that. 2022, he led in assists despite missing games. Okay, right? And again, this season, 2023 season, he would have led, except he was hurt. But he still ended up 8th, right? He is 4th in NBA history in assists per game right now. He qualifies per the games he's played. That means there's only 3 other players that has averaged more assists per game than Trae Young. Ever, okay? Okay. He's 13th in points per game right now. This is after 407 games played, total. By the way, Luka is at 28 points a game, just to give you the numbers a little bit. Also, Luka is not known for his defense. Takes 20 shots a game. Trae's at 25. Trae is ahead of Dominique, who's 17th, and back of Bob Pettit, who is 10th points per game. Trae Young is 4th in NBA history, all of NBA history in 30-point, 10-assist games. Oscar Robertson, LeBron James, James Harden, Russell Westbrook, only ones ahead of him. The previous 3 I just mentioned are the ones that are active. So it's actually 5th, if we want to get technical. But that's all time, okay? Trae has 3,868 assists, so he's also the Hawks all-time assist leader. He's 138th all-time right now. If he plays at least 8 more seasons, gets at least 644 assists a year, he's going to be no less than 10th all-time in NBA history. History. Right now, he has more assists than Derrick Rose, Giannis, Pete Maravich, Penny Hardaway. Random players I just mentioned. He's going to pass next season Kyrie, Spud, Grant Hill, Barkley, Tracy McGrady, Ray Allen. Trae has 414 total steals so far. If he stays on his current average, plays at least 8 more seasons, he'll be no less than 4th all-time in Hawks history. Over everybody except Doc, Neek, and Mookie. All-time in Hawks history, okay? Interesting note, John Koncak has 515 steals. Kevin Willis has 581 steals. Paul Millsap has 496 steals. Al Horford, former Hawk new champion, 482 steals. Tree Rollins has 452 steals. Kent Bazemore has 430 steals. DeAndre Hunter has 174 career steals. Trae currently leads in 3-pointers made in Hawks history ahead of Mookie, Joe Johnson, Kyle, and Bogey. Let's talk playoffs now. Now, Trae only has 27 playoff games. He's only been 3 of 6 seasons in the playoffs so far. Trae has more playoff points in a playoff run in Hawks history so far. The Eastern Conference Finals run, 461. Dominique is second with 374. Trae is also getting 9.5 assists per game doing that, which no other Hawk has done. Trae is already 8th all-time, and again, 30 and 10-point assist games in playoff history. He's 8th all-time. He's one of a handful of 10 players that has a 30 and 15 assist game in the playoffs. He's only played playoffs 3 times. Again, his average is 26.4 games in the playoffs. Dominique, also 26 points a game. He's percentage points lower than Trae. And Dominique played 51 games in the playoffs, by the way. So let's talk the Knicks series. Okay. 32-10, 30-7, 21-14, 27-9, 36-9, and about. In that same series, you had Kevin getting 8 points, 10 points, 10 points, 11 points, 8 points. Hunter, 5 points. He had an 18-point game, 11 points, 5 points, and then 15 points. Against Philadelphia, had a 35-10 game, a 21-11 game, a 28-8 game, a 25-18 assist game, 39.7 assists, 34 points, 12 assists, 21 points, 10 assists. In the same series, you had Kevin get 15 points that first game on great shooting. Second game, he had 20 points. Third game, he had 3. Fourth game, 10. Fifth game, 0. And then game 6, he had 17. And of course, game 7, Kevin, 27 points. Hunter wasn't playing, by the way, because he's not available. The Bucks series. Trae had 48-11 in game 1, 15-9 in game 2, 45-4 in game 3, missed games 4 and 5, and then playing hurt in game 5, he had 19-9. Kevin in game 1 had 13. Game 2, he had 8. Game 3, he had 11. Game 4, he had 15 on 1 of 7 from 3. Game 5, he had 8 points or 3 of 12 from the floor. Game 6, he had 6 points. Game 7, Kevin. And of course, that you know what happened in that Bucks series. We lost, right? Now, the Miami series, the next season, Bogey, John, Gallo, not at full strength. John shouldn't even been playing. I think most people would agree. Hawks had 4 players scoring double digits. Hunter had 14, Gallo 17, Collins with 10, Kevin Knox with 10. Kev had 8, Bogey had 6. Miami was all over Trae. That was probably one of his worst games. He had 1 for 12 shooting. He had 8 points. Game 2, though, Trae had 25 and 7. They're still all over him. Kevin had 9 points. Gallo had 2. John had 13. Bogey had 29. And Hunter had 16. Clint didn't play. Game 3, Trae had 24 and 8. Hunter had 17. Kev had 13. Gallo 11. John 6. Bogey had 18. Hawks win this game. Game 4, Trae had 11 and 6, had 8 boards. Hunter had his best game probably in 5 years ever, 35 points, 11 boards, 3 steals. Kevin had 12, again, not really good. John had 7. Clint played, he had only 2 points. Gallo played 12 points. Hawks lost that game by 3 points. Let's talk the Boston series that I just showed y'all some of. Game 1, Trae had 16 and 8. Game 2, he had 24 and 6. Game 3, he had 32 and 9. Game 4, he had 35 and 15. Game 5, he had 38 and 13. Game 6, he had 30 and 10. He was getting 2 steals a game in that series. 4 or 6 games, he was getting 2 steals a game. So game 1, DJ again did his job, 24 points. Hunter had 11. John had 12. Clint had 12. Bogey had 9. We lose 112-99 in that game. Game 2, DJ had 29. Hunter had 18. John had 5. Clint had 4. Bogey had 18. 119-106 was the final score on that one. Game 3, DJ again doing his part, 25 points. Hunter had 11. Clint had 10. John had 8. Bogey had 15. Bay had 15. JJ had 10. We win that game by 8 points. Game 4, DJ had 23. Again, remember what I just said that Trae had each game. DJ was doing his job. Hunter, in this case, had his best game of that series, 27. Clint had 10. John had 5. Bay had 5. Bogey had 8. We lost by 8 points. Game 5, DJ was suspended because he hit the ref. Hunter had 13 that game. Bogey had 18. John had 22. Clint had 4. Bay had 12. Trae had the game-winning shot. We win 119-117. In the final game, game 6, DJ had 14. Hunter had 20, John 16, Clint 10, Bogey 12. Hawks lose by 9 points, 129-120. That actually is what happened. Okay? And again, I like to show reality rather than what people be just putting out there and hoping it sticks. And one thing that Bob Rathbun, the voice of the Hawks on Bally's, who always talks about the Hawks in a really, 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 really not spiritual, but just honest. And the fact that he's been around for 20 years is that, especially as journalists, whether or not you're broadcasting on TV or broadcasting on the radio or writing it in papers, you have to have a format of telling the truth rather than just speculation, rather than just saying things that really aren't true, and then not being willing to fix them once you find out it ain't true. And that's one of the worst things about Atlanta sports when it comes to people saying stuff is people never want to retract stuff. And so they just keep putting out stuff over and over again. That's never a good way to do things. That's one of the reasons I started around the ATL, because I got tired of it at a certain point. Okay. But that's why I have people on the show like Bob Rathman and Steve Holman and people like that who are with the team all the time. Okay. Because that counts. And if you don't respect what they say, especially the Godfather, Steve Holman, if you ever listen to a 92.9 The Game broadcast with Steve Holman, oh my God, he just shot a three when he ain't supposed to be shooting no threes, or he just missed another layup. You know, Steve's a company man, but he don't miss words at all. See, is Trae doing his job as leader of the team? So yeah, sure. I wish Trae was a little bit more, what's the word? Not so much vocal, but a little bit more demonstrative sometimes. But again, you're not going to get that all the time from an NBA player. Tim Duncan is a player like that. The Claw is like that. They're not out there demonstrative in your jersey. But they get on the court and they perform. They go out there and they play full tilt, and they're trying to win the game. They're trying to do everything to win the game. Trae is trying to pass the ball to everybody to get your shot. And if Trae has to score, he's going to drop 35 sometimes if he has to. You see what I'm saying? Yeah, it'd be cool if we had that. But see, that's where you go and get you some veterans. We had Luke Williams on our team. We had Solo on our team. You had veterans to help out with that. But sometimes a young player especially needs that. Now, maybe this will be the year where Trae Young might be a little bit more vocal. But I believe it will only coincide if we get some better players too. We can't keep doing, again, 15 points a game or less don't help us if you're not also primary on defense. Gotta be one or the other. That's why I say go get KD. He's at least 25 points a game. No doubt about it. What time is it? I gotta get out of here soon. So again, it's a team sport. One player can't guard 12 players on the other team. It has never happened in NBA history. No one player has stopped the team from scoring 130 points in a game. It's never happened. It never will. Michael Jordan couldn't even do that. Michael Jordan wasn't scoring 120 points a game by himself. It just never happened. There was some times he was averaging 40, but even if he just did that, you can't win unless everybody else chips in some points too. And everybody can't be the one to stop everybody. The better the players around you, the more you win. The Boston Celtics won 64 games in the NBA Finals because they had better players than everybody else in the NBA. Point blank. The Hawks had 9 players that averaged 6 points or less. You can't compete with anybody like that and then have 4 or 5 players injured. Again, Hunter still hasn't played 70 games in the season, folks. Do you understand how crazy that is? And he's supposed to be our best defender? And he ain't? That's just point blank the truth. Why do you deny that? Oh, well, it's Trae's fault. No, it's not. I just showed you a game where it's not. I showed you the Pacers game where it's not. I showed you the Bulls game, which is an embarrassment, to show you that it's not. It has nothing to do with another player. Your inability to play somebody else don't got nothing to do with another player. It never will be, never has been. You just don't want to play defense. Just say that. You don't want to play full tilt. Just say that. You don't want to play hard. Just say that. I'd rather someone say, I ain't really interested in playing defense, but I'm going to score points. I'd rather you say that. I'd rather you do that. Hunter wouldn't be on my radar at all if he was getting the 19, 20 points. I know he can score. I've praised Hunter in the past. I've praised Red Mamba in the past. Y'all know it, but eventually he ain't going to get more than 12 points a game. I did a whole show basically showing here's what Red Mamba did the first 30 games of his final season in Atlanta to show y'all what he actually did rather than what you think he did. It ain't that great. He ain't hitting no points. He ain't hitting no shots. It's 12 points a game for a reason he's scoring. He's 12 points a game for his career, guys. Like, for real, for real. We needed Red Mamba to be Red Mamba. We needed 17, 18 points a game a night out of Kevin. We needed that out of Hunter. And then we needed lockdown defense out of Hunter. We needed him to be a stopper. Oh, we can't stop everybody. He can slow him down, though. Look at that Boston series. That was in the playoffs, and there's people going backdoor, and Marcus Smart just doing whatever, and people holding him up. He won't fight through no screen. Hunter don't ever fight through no screens, y'all. I just showed y'all that. I'm showing y'all in real time. Here's what actually happened in the game for the people who don't watch games, because unfortunately, there's a lot of people who don't watch Hawks basketball. There's people who haven't watched a game of Hawks basketball since the 60-win season. I didn't mean for this to be a 2-hour show, but I guess I might as well finish it out to be a 2-hour show. There are people who haven't watched basketball since the 60-win season, since Coach Bud was here. There was people in Trae's first year that didn't know Dennis wasn't on the team no more. Where's Dennis at? How come he in the game? It's fanciful, the stuff that people say, because they just don't want to look. They don't want to pull it up. They don't actually want to see the actual results. They don't actually want to go through the gambit, because they'll look at all these other Hall of Fame players, Reggie Miller or Patrick or Karl Malone and all these, Steve Nash, 2-time MVP. How come Steve Nash didn't have to play defense? He didn't play. Look, who's Steve Nash ever stopped in his life? Name him. You know what Steve Nash was doing? Passing the ball to everybody. By the way, there's people who turn the ball over a little bit when you pass the ball a lot. Magic Johnson averaged 4 turnovers a game for his career. Guess what Luka is right now? 4 turnovers a game for his career. Comes with the territory sometimes. Yeah, some of those turnovers be bum, but most of them are just because the other player has butterfingers and they don't attribute it to the player turning the ball over. Get some finishers inside, we do a lot better. Clint can't even finish lobs, like, for real. So again, let's get some better players. Let's get Caruso in here. Let's get OG in here. Let's get Drummond in here. Let's get Pat Bev in here. Let's get KD. Let's change it. Let's really make a change. Let's make a formulative change. But also, let's get a big man coach for SAR. The Hawks have had 2 centers to average 20 points in a game in the season. One of them is Bob Pettit, and the other one is Moses freaking Malone. Rest in peace. Let's get a big man coach. Let's accentuate the things he already knows how to do and wants to do. He can hit fadeaways, turnaround jumpers, 3-point shots. He has the form. He's hitting the shot. He can take you to the rim. Clint can't do none of those things, and y'all want him bad. But y'all mad that you see other people do it, but then the person that you have on your team can't do none of it, and you're not mad at him. That doesn't make any sense. We need to get better. We need to get better. We need to get better players to be able to get better. That means we got to get certain players out of here. Bay, I like Bay, but Bay can't stop nobody either. He has really bad feet. He rebounds for his position, but if he's not hitting his shot, he's a sieve on defense. One of the reasons that things changed when Bay was out, because you don't have him out there anymore. You see what I'm saying? But DJ, oh, well, I can't play defense because Trae's out there. No, you just ain't putting no effort in. That's different. People blowing by you, and Trae's on the other side of the floor, or not even on the floor. Again, why is D'Lo getting 27 points in the game? Why? Why is Maxey getting 30? Why did Curry have 60 points? I ain't got to that game yet. I'm going to get to it. I'm going to put some of the wins in of the high scores like that, because that was a win. I was only going to do losses, but I'm going to do some of these wins as well. Because why does Curry have 60 points? Why? Mooney, what's his name? Mooney? Yeah, he ain't hurting us. There was one game, I don't know, it was the Golden State Warriors. Let me see if I can find it. What's his name? The small forward? Gosh, what is his name? I can't think of his name all of a sudden, but he plays for the Warriors. He didn't miss a shot. He was like 10 for 10. Oh, crap. I can't find it. It'll take me too long to try to find that game. I want to find it because, gosh, what is his name? I'm going through all these scores real quick. Give me a second. Kuminga went 10 for 10 in the game against us without Trae on the floor. How did that happen? You see what I'm saying? It's stuff like that that makes me mad because, again, if your premise is everything is because of Trae Young, you're just incorrect. Because when Trae ain't on the floor, how come you're not precipitatively better? And as my co-host mentioned, some of those games when we won 6 or 7, you're playing some teams that didn't have certain players and all that. But I don't even look at it from that angle. I'm looking at the fact that, well, what about all the other games? What about the games before the 6 or the 7 when Trae was still not here and we lost all those games before that streak? We just happened to have some players to finally do their jobs. Vitt was playing a lot better, right? You had all these other players. Hunter was playing at a tilt where we've never seen him before. Oh, I guess that's because Trae. Are you trying to win? Oh, I don't want to play now because Trae on the floor. Hey, guys, nobody play defense. Trae's on the floor now. Tag, you're it. Oh, he got the cooties. What? I don't care if my main enemy in life is all of a sudden picked up on my team. He's my teammate for that game. We got to play together. I'm going to set a screen for him because I know he can shoot. Boom, shoot that. I'm in the post. I'm looking, seeing who's cutting. If he cuts into the lane, I'm giving him the ball so he can get a layup. I'm about to win this game. I don't care what has happened in the past. I don't care if he's my main enemy in life. We're trying to win this game tonight. So if you have that mentality, I don't want to play with you. But you don't want to do your job. Is that the Kevin Hart? You don't want to do your job. You don't want to do your job. You hate someone so much. That's what you're saying. You don't know if it's true or not, but you're just saying it. Hunter don't like playing with Trae Young. Do we have any tape on that? Do we got anything in print on that? Do we got anything in video, Instagram somewhere? Oh, Hunter don't like playing with Trae Young. Because if that was true, we need to get rid of Hunter. You don't get rid of Trae Young. Hunter's averaging 15 points a game and never been on first, second team, all defensive team, never had no defensive player of the year ability. We're going to get rid of Trae Young, though. That's stupid. That's idiotic. That's crazy talk. Especially when you see what I just showed y'all again in another basketball game. Not fighting through screens, not being able to play his man straight up, not rebounding for his position. The Chicago Bulls playing game, Hunter had 8 points and 2 rebounds. 8 points, 2 rebounds. The Pacers game, where the Hawks gave up 157 points, Hunter was 0 for 6 in that game and 2 more rebounds. And y'all want to talk about Trae Young? That's just weird. This is weird at a certain point. And again, all the games where Trae don't play, how come Hunter ain't precipitatively better? On defense. Why he shutting down nobody? That's all I'm asking. It ain't brain surgery here, folks. We need to switch out players. So again, I'll run it down. And again, make sure y'all subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio page on YouTube. You're watching it from right there. You can also follow on, I'll move it back up again, Instagram and Facebook. There you go. IMTM Worldwide Radio. Follow there. You can also follow me on Twitter, Intellect ATL. You probably get me on Twitter quicker in most cases. It's because I be busy a lot of times. Got 6 minutes left. But make sure you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio page. That's where I broadcast all my shows. I also have some other shows. One is called Women in Business, where I highlight women who have started their own businesses. So if you actually like women and care about women, if you have a wife or a mother or a daughter or cousin or auntie or whatever, it might be a show that you might refer to them from time to time. And also, of course, on Around the ATL, the regular 2-hour version, we go through. On the regular 2-hour version, we go through all of Atlanta sports. So on my side notes shows only go through one topic at a time. Well, on the 2-hour full version of Around the ATL, we talk Hawks, we talk Falcons, we talk Braves, Atlanta United, Atlanta Dream, the new volleyball team, Atlanta Vibe. We also talk college sports, UGA, Georgia Tech sometimes, Georgia State, Clark Atlanta, Albany State, wherever. If you're in Georgia and you're in sports, we're talking about you. If you're in college especially, I don't know if we're ever going to do baseball. I don't know. We'll see. But primarily college and basketball. College basketball and football as far as college, but we talk it all. So if you ever want to talk about some sports and talk about it in a reasonable way, have a good conversation. It is a call-in show as well, too. So you get to call in and actually talk about it live on the radio. So that being said, I'm going to go ahead and get ready to sign off of here. Again, the next game is going to be game 80. I guess I can go ahead and pull up which game that is because I didn't do that yet. Let's see if I can do this real quick. Nope, I'm not going to be able to, so I have to Google it. Let's see if I can do that. Wow, that was strange. What was that? All right, let's see. Game 80 was against, bear with me, folks. I'm going to try to pull it up. February, March, April. Against the Hornets, April 10th, which we lost by 1 point, 115 to 114. So that will be the next game I will be reviewing for everybody. So stay tuned for that. That'll probably happen next week. Wait, it's Tuesday. It might happen this week. My bad. The next 2-hour show, probably next week. Right now, our schedules are kind of all over the place, myself and my co-host. So stay tuned. If you subscribe to the IMTM Worldwide Radio page, you will always get that notification. Make sure you follow us on Twitter, Intellect ATL and Jordan23 ATL. Like I said, mainstay. Subscribe to the YouTube page for IMTM Worldwide Radio. Everybody that commented, I appreciate your time. Who is this? Drew Skrilla. What's up? Mary, Wayne, anybody else who watches this after the fact. Appreciate the support as always. And I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, see if I can find my outro. But yeah, if you want to stick with the premise of saying every loss is based off of Trae Young and his defense alone and nobody else has to be responsible, I just think that's just messed up because it's just, one, it's a bad premise, and two, it's an untrue premise. No, Trae ain't the best defensive player in the world, in the NBA, or on the Hawks or anything like that. But he also isn't the worst. And also, he evens his out because of what he can do on the other side of the ball, which is his job. But every year, and just like Wayne mentioned, every year he's gotten better. He takes those charges. He gets the ball. He takes the ball from people. He's just not in passing lanes getting the ball from people. He takes the ball from you. I wish Hunter could do that, but he don't. Look at his average for his career as far as steals. Hunter is big enough to be getting blocks every game. I ain't saying he needs to get 3 a game, but he should get 1 a game. 1.2? Why does he give up layups on guards? Why doesn't he rebound his position? He averages 4 a game, but a lot of those are like throwaway rebounds. He needs to be getting defensive rebounds to prevent second chance points. He should be at 7 rebounds a game is my point. His effort ain't there. There is no motor. And this is from somebody who was Defensive Player of the Year in college. Defensive Player of the Year in the ACC in college, and it's never translated to us. Why? That's why we drafted him. We gave up stuff to get him. We gave up stuff. We gave up stuff to go up to 4 to pick him specifically. And again, if you wanted to do that at the point guard position, why get Trae Young? Why not get Colin Sexton? Or not get a point guard at all? Why not get Triple J? Jaren Jackson Jr. was there. Could have got him. We could have. But we didn't do that. We haven't gotten anybody defensively in 15 plus years now. In the draft, if that was a concentration. We hadn't traded for nobody. If that was a concentration, if that was such a big deal to somebody in the front office, right? See, again, you got to want to fix these things and fix them by getting the players that actually can do it. That's why I would rather get players who've actually done it. Caruso, first team, second team all defense, one or the other. He's always up there. He's getting Defensive Player of the Year votes. Drummond has gotten Defensive Player of the Year votes. He's been an all defensive player. OG, same thing. Pat Bev, same thing. See, they have the accreditation to be able to say, I can play my position pretty good, and I know what to do, and I know what not to do, and I know how to tell others, and I'm willing to do that. And we don't got nobody on our team willing to do that. Nobody willing to do their job all the time, no matter what. But see, again, I'm not going to leave my man on an island. My man gets beat coming down the court. I got to pick up. I got to now try to stop you. I'm the help. I'm the weak side help. We don't even do weak side help well. You see what I'm saying? It's embarrassing. We don't do anything that other teams do. We're not getting coached, and we don't got the players to do it. While we watch all these other teams do it. Someone said that on one of the Facebook pages. Look, all 5 people play defense and everything like that. That's great if you got the players who can do it. Why don't you play defense? See, at a certain point, it's not about capability. It's that you're just not doing it. That's 2 different things. Everybody is capable of doing it, but are you doing it? I'm old, but I'm getting up and down the court. I don't care if you're 20 years younger than me. I'm getting back on defense. I'm fighting through my screen. I'm not allowing a screen. You know you don't have to go through the screen, right? You know you don't have to be picked, right? You do know that, right? You see what I'm saying? This is just basketball. So many times. Why are you accepting the screen, Clint? Why are you overhelping? Why are you coming up and playing the guard? DJ got some. Hunter got some. Why are you playing him now? Because guess what? Now your man is against somebody who can't stop him. Whether it be GJ. That Bulls game, they did the same thing over. I say it on the show. All that game, all they did was put Vucevic at the top of the key. He had 24 points just coming in there, just laying the ball up on everybody, especially Clint. The first 2 buckets was on Clint. Did you watch the game? I can't play it now because I've deleted all those. But if you go watch around the ATL side notes, Trae Young, hour and 20-minute mark, I start reviewing the Bulls playing game. Watch all the shots that the Bulls are making. And then come back and say, oh, well, Trae ain't actually the reason that we gave up 130 points. He's not. When you watch the game, he gave up some points. He didn't give up 130. He didn't give up 100. He didn't give up 70. He didn't give up 40. All the way down. White had 42 points. Look at those layups that the Atlanta Hawks gave up. Look at Vucevic getting 24 points and DeRozan getting 22. That should be what you should be mad at. Anthony was saying, I was about to ask because DeLon Wright is available again. Pat Bev is too much of a liability. Liability how? And I will say this, because Anthony made it a point. From 2022 to 2023, we went down in talent overall. Remember, and I've said this from a year ago now, we did nothing in the offseason. So you gave away John because you did all the stupid talking that you had to do as an organization to devalue him, and you gave him away for free. But John Collins is a 15-8 guy, 16-8 guy, possible 20-8 guy if you give him enough shots, and he can hit the three. He wasn't going to have his worst season of all time back-to-back seasons. And you gave him away for free, and his defense. You gave it away for free. Bay and JJ were on the bench last year, and then they started this year, and you didn't replace their production off the bench. So that's 3 roster spots you did nothing about, basically. And you said, oh, well, Trent got it. Garrison got it. He averaged 5 points a game. West got it. Vitt's going to be the guy. You got him late. Dylan. What? Didn't want to pay Patty. He's a legit scorer. You didn't want to play him. And you didn't want to play Bruno till the end of the year. We did nothing. We did nothing in the offseason to get better. You did nothing at the trade deadline to get better. He said, oh, we're going to double down, and we got 4 players missing, plus Hunter missed another 30 games, 20 games, whatever it is, and we don't need nobody. We don't need nobody, right? And then when it came to where you could buy out some contracts, no, we ain't going to do that either. Just amazing. Man, we need Pat Bev fighting with some fans. We need to stop people from swag surfing. Can you imagine? We're getting beat by 25 and we're going to start swag surfing? I hope that Pat Bev fights some fans, because I was going to do it. I told y'all about that Boston game. We're on ESPN and we're getting the brakes beat off of us. And I'm out there. I'm already in the stands fighting Boston fans left and right. And then they're going to do the swag surfing? I left. It's just embarrassing. Can't do that. Read the room. You can't swag surf every game. But because the owner thinks it's important, that's the only thing that's important. Club State Farm. Who's in Gucci Row? Entertainment. The Gulch. We can't get right. The State Farm is one of the best arenas for watching a basketball game for a winning team. It is exciting. It is hype for sure. But when you can't even compete, that ain't cool, which is why I stopped going to games. I've had season tickets the last 2-3 years, but I stopped going to games. I don't live in Atlanta anymore. It takes me 2 hours to get up to Atlanta and then 2 hours back. I want to see my team compete. I don't care if they go 0-82. I just want them to have a chance to win. Well, you know they don't have a chance in the world to win because our organization doesn't allow the team to win because they don't want to get better. That ain't it. That ain't the move. That ain't the move. I wish Pat Bev would fight some fans. We need that. But I don't believe that would be such an issue to where it will be a detriment to the team, though. You see what I'm saying? Not long term. Not enough to not negate what he would be valuable to the team, even if he didn't play a lot. He would be a voice on the bench. He'd be like, come here. You remember that one clip? What was it? Iguodala? Come here. Come here. Right? Whatchamacallit in Golden State? Draymond? Right? We need that. Draymond Green has 4 rings because he was an integral part of that team winning 4 championships and being in the Western Conference Finals multiple times because he knows what he's doing. He ain't the biggest guy out there, but he knows positioning. He knows where to be and why he needs to be there. And he don't miss. And when he needs to shoot the ball every now and again, he can hit a shot. We don't have that on the Hawks, y'all. We need it. We need that kind of player on our team. We need multiple players like that on our team. Because if we were to do that, guess what we would be in the Eastern Conference Finals and going for championships. We didn't have a playoff roster this year, y'all. That's his bottom line. Vitt and Garrison and Wesley Matthews and Trent Forrest. Like in what reality is it? I'm just saying. Like, come on. Like, let's keep it real. That's why I just get so upset. We ain't keeping it real. You don't get rid of your 25-10 player and your ultimate playoff player and the guy who's leading you in everything player. You don't do that. You put good to better players around that player, because that's what all the other teams who've won championships have done. The reason the Boston Celtics and the Los Angeles Lakers over the last however many decades have all those championships, because they continue to do that. Decade after decade after decade. Decade after decade. It might not work every decade, but at least they're trying, while the Hawks ain't trying at all. The Lakers had Karl Malone and Gary Payton on the same team with Shaq and Kobe. That happened. We watched it happen. Scottie Pippen and Charles Barkley were on the same team. That happened. Didn't work out, but it happened. Toronto Raptors went and got the claw, won a ring. Didn't they? Sure did. You put pieces around what you got. 2011 Mavs had Dirk, J. Kidd, Matrix, and all these other. Jason Terry. They couldn't stop Jason freaking Terry. That's why they won that championship. Can you do a run it back series? Like Dallas went to the finals, got embarrassed. Do you think they will run it back? Actually, that's a really interesting question, actually. What time is it? Man, I'm going overtime now. That's actually a real interesting question. It's possible they would come back with the same team. However, I think they will go all in and getting a third player, to where what the Boston Celtics were able to do to them will be negated a little bit. So what you would have to do is either get someone who is – so basically the reason that Boston Celtics were able to do what they were able to do is because they refused to try to be doubling Luka and doubling Kyrie all the time. They just played them straight up, right? It'd be a little bit harder, though, if they had another threat to do that, right? Because now, let's say, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a player that would be equitable in this scenario. Let's just say, like, if Dallas all of a sudden had Jason Tatum, okay? So you got Luka, Jason Tatum, and Kyrie, right? Along with a Gafford and Derek Lively and stuff like that on the team. Yeah, it'd be a little bit different all of a sudden, right? Agreed? So I think they would go out and get one more player, but otherwise I think they come back, because guess what? They were able to win the West like they were. You see what I'm saying? So it's possible they could do it, but they could panic and be like, oh, we're going to scrap it too. It could be either or, but again, it's a matter of who's the owner over there, right? So that owner has done what is necessary to win, or try to win each season. Didn't always work out, but at least they tried. Remember, Luka walked in with Dirk on the team, right? Then all of a sudden you had Laffy and Dirk on the team, right? They won some games. And then all of a sudden you got Kyrie freaking Irving on your team, right? And they were good in the West, but then they went and got Gafford, and they went and got PJ, right? Middle of the season. And all of a sudden, your defense went, woo. And all of a sudden, you can win playoff series now, right? DeMar DeRozan. DeMar definitely will make it hard, because he's mid-range king. So you got Kyrie and DeMar and Luka on the team. Oh, that'd be tough, right? So that's a possibility. That's definitely a possibility right there. That's a good, because I know he's ready to get out of Chicago, right? I don't know what Levine is doing at this point. I hear Ball might be coming back, but is that enough for him to want to stay and try it one more year? You know, I don't know about that. I mean, that team finished ahead of us, though, right? Obi White driving 42 points. Can you imagine getting Levine and Ball back? Vucevic is still pretty decent, right? That team could change in a heartbeat from one year to another. But again, the Hawks, 21 games lost by 7 points or less. We win half of those games. We win 45 games. They're in the playoffs. You see what I'm saying? Not that far away, but we were far enough away to not compete. And again, for the owner not to do his job and what he said in print, whether it be The Athletic or Bleacher Report or on Zoom or wherever, he's saying this stuff out loud. He just be lying to us. And the general manager, again, I have no confidence that he knows what he's doing. It's scary how bad we have been because of him. And only him. Talking about some Hawks DNA. We need to get an NDA, non-disclosure agreement, get him out of there. But anyway, let me get out of here for real now. Again, definitely join me for future shows. It's like I said, I really enjoy talking about Atlanta sports. I talk about the Hawks, talk about everybody. Again, I just like to chop it up, but I chop it up with a basis of fact. Again, I don't like just saying stuff for the sake of saying it. I'm not going to ever do that. I'm not going to ever do that because it ain't right. It's stupid. This is stupid. Again, if your premise is the Hawks lose all their games because of Trae Young and his defense, I'm going to try to help you prove that. But once you continue to see all what I'm going to be showing y'all and you see it for yourself, you should have a change of mind, a change of heart, or at least not say it out loud to nobody. Because it's just flatly false. Other people ain't doing their jobs like they need to be doing to accentuate what's happening on the court. Okay? It just, because again, that Pacers game, I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna get out of here. There's no way in the world that Trae should be trying to guard Miles Turner or Siakam. Why is that right? Why is that right? Yeah, he has to do what he can to try to present some kind of resistance, but there's no way in the world he can stop those two players. But why aren't the players who are supposed to be guarding those players on those players? Why? See, that's the question you should be asking yourself. It's not that Trae can't stop people. He shouldn't be on those people at all. And it ain't because they were targeting him. It's just that people weren't playing their man and someone got to pick up. That's completely different. That's completely different. That's like I'm playing center, right? And I'm coming up the court, and then all of a sudden, mouse in the house. But why is there a mouse in the house? But I don't care. Give me the ball because I'm about to lay it up. They're about to have to triple team me to stop me like I'm Shaq now because I got mouse in the house because somebody didn't get back down the court. Because I'm not just jogging. I'm running, and then I'm getting position. Y'all see this? You see that? That's a lot. Nobody's going to stop me at that point. I'm in the post. You got to be willing to stay with your man throughout the whole game. That's your assignment. You got to fight through the screen, hedge, avoid the screens. You got to switch back. Again, why are you leaving mouse in the house? Somebody should switch. Nobody does it. Just like y'all saw Garrison there. Do I need to play that? I'm going to play that again real quick. Let me see if I can find it. What shot was that? What is that, fourth quarter, I believe, off the top of my head? Yeah, 11th shot. Let me play that one more time, and then I'm going to get out of here officially because I should have been gone. 11th shot, fourth quarter. This is what I'm talking about.
Edwards backing down Buffkin. Turnaround. Dave! Money!
It is a 1-point game. The Wolves are only up by 1 point. We lost this game by 3 points. And you mean to tell me you're going to leave Kobe on the island against one of the best players in the NBA? And he just hit a shot on Kobe? I'm play the other shot.
That Cat 3 energized the crowd and the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Edwards off the window.
So you mean the teammates and the coaching staff said, we're just going to let Kobe sit on the island and try to defend the best player on the court in crunch time at the end of the game, a game that we have a chance to win. That's what you're saying, that you're just supposed to do that. Because, see, guess what? They would have did that with Trae Young, too. Muhammad Gay could have hard double. He could have did that on his own. No coaches said nothing. Double. Nobody said that. You didn't see it. Gaze is out there. La-di-dee, la-di-da. Bankhead bounce. I can't even bankhead bounce no more. You see what I'm saying? And then you go to the next shot, the very next shot.
Edwards backing down Bumpkin. Turnaround. Dave! Money!
That's why I can't respect anybody that says, oh, well, they can't play defense because of Trae Young. Trae Young ain't out there near those shots. But that's the mentality? I need all y'all off the team. What was Garrison doing? If the Wolves were down by 2, Garrison left his man wide open for a 3. All Edwards had to do is pass it over to McDaniels, and he has a 3 who hit 3 or 4 that game. I told y'all that during the show, right? Remember that McDaniels hit 3 or 4 3-pointers in this game, and all of them were wide open. That would have been the game winner right there. Hawks were in that game. We lost that game by 3 freaking points. We gave up 52 points in the paint, and most of that was on Clint and Bruno. What are we talking about? Do your job. Do your doggone job. And if you can't do it and you don't want to do it, you shouldn't be here, because Trae is trying to win games. Certain other players on our team is trying to win games. And pieces have to fit. They got to fit well. And if they don't fit, you got to get them out of here and get another fit. But you got to do it drastically. You got to get rid of who are not effective and who can't do certain jobs. If you switch it, again, I'll read it one more time. I swear I was supposed to be gone already. You get KD. You trade DJ, Hunter, and AJ. You don't want to play AJ, fine. You get him out of here too. I hate it, but he'll play well somewhere else for somebody. But you get DJ, you get the Suns a better point guard, because they don't got one. They had the worst fourth quarter percentages in basketball this year. So you give them a point guard so Booker and Bill have somebody, right? You get KD out of purgatory, and you get him here. So you can average 25 points a game easy, all right? You trade Clint and Bay, and you go get Caruso, right? Or Herb or Dort. Figure it out. Best defensive small forward or shooting guard that you can, right? You sign Drummond. You sign OG from the Knicks. You get Pat Bev. So you have Trae, Caruso, KD, JJ, and Sar. You start Sar off the jump. So you have Kobe, Bogey, OG, Gay, and Double O off the bench. That's a strong coming off the bench right there. And then for your reserves, you keep Garrison because he could hit threes. You keep Vitt because he could do a multiple amount of things, which he should have been in Chicago series, but we just had to keep Trent Forrest, and Vitt couldn't play. I think we win that game if Vitt is in there, but whatever. Didn't need to stop the 72 points in the paint that we gave up. But anyway, you keep Seth. I think Seth deserves a run. You have Pat Bev. So again, you got 3 layers of depth there to where unless 12 people are hurt, you can still compete. KD gets hurt, put OG in there. If Sar gets hurt, you got O, and you got Drummond. You see what I'm saying? Again, just look at the injuries that we had over this season. They were monumental. You see what I'm saying? Now, Gay has to definitely get better at defense. But he can put the ball in the basket, though. That evens it out a little bit. But you look at that Pacers game, he gave up 30 points in that Pacers game, y'all. 30. A cool 30 points out of 157. You see what I'm saying? But that's what I'm talking about. You don't leave your man on an island. If there's a switch of some sort that happened because someone did a real good pick, if there's time, switch back. But if there's not time and it's an obvious mismatch, go and help. Go double team. Force the ball out the best player's hands and make somebody else hurt you. You don't go down in flames like that. You can't afford to do it. And then it'll be a matter of, do you have that player? See, the Bulls, Jordan goes and gets double teamed. He could throw it to Steve Kerr. What did Steve Kerr say in the parade? Well, Michael doesn't really perform those kind of situations that well. You might need to take the last shot, Steve, right? You remember the speech. It was silly and everything. It was joke and everything. But he had players that he could count on to hit the shot or get the rebound or get the block shot, get the steal, whatever needed to be done to win the game each and every game. With Cliff Livingston and Scott Williams and Pete Myers and Judd freaking Bushler and Will Perdue and Luke Longley, Winnington, Bill Cartwright. Really? Really? Think about that. Think about who the Hawks were playing those years, and why couldn't we just get a good mix of players like that? Just one time. Just one time. You got to have players that can do those things, and then you got to have the supreme player that can put you over the top as well. Willing to take the shots. Willing to do it. The 60-win team didn't have that player, unfortunately. It wasn't Allen, it wasn't Jeff Teague, unfortunately. Otherwise, the Hawks would have at least an Eastern Conference Finals championship. We should have beat that Cleveland team. Straight up should have beat them. I will always go down to the end saying that. All we needed was a premier Al Horford, 24-12 Al Horford. We beat them, but he couldn't stop Tristan Thompson. If we had Teague time the whole time, that series, there's no way they could have beat us. Because it's just LeBron. LeBron get his. He can't score 120 points a game by himself. You see what I'm saying? We wouldn't do it. And then we just did nothing after that. Here it is, 6 seasons in. You got a premier passer of the game on your team who can also happen to score pretty decent. He averaging 25 and 10, and we won't put a team around him. We won't do it. He ain't going to stay here like Dame did in Portland. I guarantee you that. He can't. Why would he? If there's no inclination to say we're not going to try to do anything, we're going to just run it back again. We're going to have Clint out there again, giving up all these points in the paint, can't stop nobody, and can't score again? Foolishness. So that being said, I'm going to get out of here, y'all. It is 4:30 in the afternoon. I did not mean to do a 2.5-hour show on this particular topic. But hopefully y'all enjoy. Hopefully y'all tell a few people, again, especially if you're Hawks fans, watch the show over and over. Watch the past shows. Again, I broke a lot of different things down. So click through a lot of stuff. I broke down a lot of other players and things of that nature. Some articles that I've written. I've published those and stuff like that on the page. So enjoy that. But in the meantime, I got to go. We go ahead and get ready to play my outro. But y'all take care. Have a nice weekend. I will try to do a little update on my grandmother if I find out anything. Right now, she's trying to rest at home and everything. But again, thanks for those who did reach out and everything. Because like I said, this past weekend was really touch and go for a minute. Again, I was at the hospital for 6 hours because again, you just don't know. And it was really tough. And then right after that was Father's Day. My dad passed cancer and everything. And that was the first time I've been in a hospital room really for somebody else since then. And that was just difficult and everything. But anyway, this is Around the ATL on IMTN Worldwide Radio. Hopefully y'all enjoy. Until next time, y'all take care. Make sure y'all support. Make sure y'all subscribe. IMTN Worldwide Radio. Peace.
Thank you.